Okay, so here's the second recording of the tune for this week's Quarantune, this Paddy Fahey that was written in C, but I'm going to teach you how to play it in D as well, because it's a little bit easier for the wind instruments for sure. It does get a little tricky on the stringed instruments in the B part because it's a bit of a finger twister in D. It's actually a little bit easier to play in C on the stringed instruments, I think, at least once you're used to playing in C. So here's the Fahey in D. It's kind of nice in D too. It's got a little bit different flavor than it does in C. It doesn't sound quite as exotic. And it kind of maybe loses some of its charm, but it gains some sort of sweetness of the D. So it's good to be able to play it in both keys. So here we go. We're going to start on a D in our upper register, and we're going to start with. So that's D, C, D, E, D, C, D. Try it. One more. Then we're going to go just a D arpeggio. D, A, F sharp, D. Try it. Good. So let's put those phrases together. Again. Let's do it one more time and then I'll add a few notes to the end. So, let's break that down. So that's F sharp, A, G. So tack it on. Here we go. Good. Let's do it one more time. G, G, E, F sharp, G. And you might ornament that G. Right? So let's tack those on to the end. Here we go. And then we're going to keep going up the scale. So that's A, B, C, D, C sharp, of course. And then F, E, D. So let's put all that together, starting at the beginning. Here we go. Yeah, let's try it again. See, we're back on the D, and if you remember, if you learned this in C already, that we're going to repeat that and resolve differently. I know it's a huge surprise to everybody. So that last D is really the first note of the second half of the B or of the A part. So putting those together, I'll get you up to where we get to the new resolve. Here we go. G, G, E, F, sharp down on your G string if you're on a stringed instrument, and then D. Try it. One more time. Good. So that's the whole A part. So let's play it through a bunch of times. Here we go. Again. One more. Good. So that feels probably easier to you if you already learned it in C. Just because D, we play a lot in D, and D is a much more familiar key. Well, until we get into the B part here, and we're going to have some finger twisters, at least on the string instruments. Here we go. Starts the same, and then jumps the fifth. So it jumps from the D to the A. D, C, D, A. And you might ornament that A. Now comes our gymnastics. So that's F sharp, B, F sharp, A, and then ending up on the D. So we're bouncing off that F sharp. Every other note is the F sharp. Try it. Yeah, especially if you're playing a longer scale banjo or something, that's a big reach. But let's tack those on. Here we go from the beginning of the B part. Again. And you'll notice when I'm jumping from the D to the A, I'm doing it with my same finger. I'm just rocking the finger down to cover both strings. And you would probably do that on both banjo and fiddle and mandolin and other stringed instruments that are tuned the same way. One more time. So we're going to play it, the next phrase, a little bit differently in D than we played it in C, just for the availability of notes. So we're going to go like this. So that's B, A, B, G, and then we ornament that G. So that's B, G, A, B, A, F sharp. Try it. Again. Good. So let's tack that on to what we already know in the B. So starting at the beginning. And then just like in the A, we're going to play the same phrase again and resolve differently. And then our big arpeggio is also a bit of a finger twister. So that's B, A, F sharp, D. Try that. That's the first part of the arpeggio. Again. And then we're going to go. So that's G, E, C sharp. And then. So just the D arpeggio. D, A, F sharp, D. So putting those together. Try it. Again. One more time. Right? That's the whole tune in D. So, just like we did in C, let's play it through a few times, starting off slow, working our way up a little bit. Here we go. Paddy Fahey jig, originally written in C, currently playing it in D. there you have it. It's the Fahey tune that I taught in C, also in D. And again, I'll just say it, it'd be really good for you if you learn it in one key, to learn it in the other key too, and start to open up your mind and your fingers' familiarity with playing in C and with moving tunes into different keys, just in case. First of all, you never know. You might have learned a tune in a key and somebody else plays it in another key, and you might not even know which one is right or which one was the original key or whatever. And so it's good for you to be able to play things in multiple keys, get your brain thinking more about intervals and less about where does my finger go next, and that kind of thing. So hope you enjoyed it, and hope you're staying safe out there.